A very good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Waran Shanmugam show. My name is Waran Shanmugam, and I'm your host. I'm the president of empowermalaysians.org. Now, this is an NGO where we help women out there, where we empower them wherever possible. We also help the youths on personal development and people with mental health issues. We are there for them. I'm also the founder of SAT Academy, SAT Academy. And in SAT Academy, what we do is we transform people. We transform people into becoming a better being. And today, I would like to welcome all of you all to the Waran Shanmugam show. It's Hari Raya Eve. Yay! It's 12th of May, 2021. Lovely Wednesday, I must say. I'm so excited because it's a special day. Ramadan month, one whole month people fast. And then tomorrow it's a celebration. So it is indeed a celebration for all of us, the Malaysians. Yeah. Now let us welcome our guest for tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Pamela Jacob. Hi there.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing, Pam?
I'm good. Selamat Hari Raya to you and to everyone out there.
Exactly right. Thank you so much for coming. I know it's a Hari Raya Eve. We have got comments already coming. People saying Hari Raya, Selamat Hari Raya, and welcome to you also, Pam, from the many fans of yours. Yeah, you have got a fan club over there, I think. Yeah. So let me share a little bit about the program, if I may, Pam. The Waran Shanmugam show is especially for those who inspire people in many ways, in their own ways, I must say. And today, it's you, Pam, because you have inspired so many people in many, many ways that you do not know, but a lot of them speak about what you have done, what you are still doing, and it's really amazing. And therefore, I wanted to showcase you in the Waran Shanmugam show. I love to bring these people, right, to my show and let them share their stories simply to inspire people out there who thinks that, you know what, they need help. My mantra is only one, Pam. I am more than I think. You are always more than what you think you are. That is very important. And our shows are every Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Yes, 8 p.m. every Wednesdays. We do this for a good 40 minutes or so, depending on our conversation. If it is nice, then it will be lengthier. Yeah. And to know more about this, please remember we have got past events that have happened and we have got future events that's coming by. Go to our Facebook page, I Am More Than I Think. Click like, click share. So let's talk, Pam, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
All right, good. Before we go on, you must understand this, yeah. This is the camera that I'm looking at, Pam, but here I've got a screen full of viewers sending messages after messages, and I'm just going to read this before we even move on, yeah. I've got Angie, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, yeah. She have been waiting since 7 p.m. Can you beat that? So she logged in already, and then she was waiting. She said, I'm here waiting. So there you go. Alex Tew, I don't know if you know him. Thumbs up. Rajwin Kaur says, well done, Waran and Pam. Maureen Rajamani gives you a big hugs and kisses, yeah. Lim Vitim says, good evening, everyone. Narendra Kumar says he's your friend. She says, hello, Pam. Kiran Kaur says, good evening, everyone. Susan says, good evening, everyone. Sheila Chong says, hi there, Pam. Who is this? Peppa Jean Molhead. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Well done, Auntie. Always here to support you. There you go. You got a big load of fan coming by, Pam. So,
Peppa's watching from Japan.
There you go. So all the way from Japan, yeah. Who is Sheila Chong, Pam?
Sorry?
Sheila Chong.
Sheila Chong.
There you go. So yeah. So
Shell Chong. Shell
Chong, is it? Sorry, I'm pronouncing it wrongly.
Yes.
Yeah. So
She's
there you go. And then you have got, I see. And then you have got Kevin Samara Vikrama. Wonderful Pam. Cousin, is it?
Yes.
All right, there you go. So this is just to hype the evening, yeah, because it's so interesting and a lot more coming by. Anyways, I want to ask you a question, but before that, I wanted to see if I can share a picture of the person whom you will be speaking about today. Just hang in there for a while. Yeah. There you go, Pam. Do you see this
Ah,
handsome man over here on screen?
yes, that's my darling.
There you go. There you go. So I can see some family photographs and a man who is carrying your son.
Yes, that's my husband, Jacob.
Uh huh.
And uh, and then you
The whole
have,
family is there.
yes, my eldest daughter, Allison, my son, Abraham, and myself.
Oh,
Aiden's our
beautiful.
youngest. Yes.
Yeah, Aiden looks so amazing. Such a beautiful child he is. Okay, so let's start. Tell us about your childhood. I always like to ask this, Pam, to the many guests that come by my show. Why? Because childhood, right? See, when I speak about childhood, you already have got that laughter coming, and it is beautiful when they speak about childhood. They straight away go to their childhood. So a bit about your childhood, family, and some friends, if you may, Pam.
Okay, so I was born in Srumban, but I was just born in Srumban and shipped straight to PD. My parents were teachers in Port Dickson, so I grew up in Port Dickson. In fact, I grew up in the camp, in the garrison camp in Port Dickson.
I see.
So yes, I grew up there, and since both my parents were teachers and my mom was teaching in the camp school, we lived in the camp quarters, and yeah, so early childhood was in Port Dickson.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Now, a little bit about your career. I do know that when I asked you what's your career, you said just mother will do. So I am assuming that you're a full-time homemaker. When did that happen? And tell us a little bit about that, Pam.
No, so when Aiden was born, I gave up full time work because we had challenges even when he was born. We almost lost him at birth.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Due to infection, doctors were not sure if he was going to pull through. So what I did was I gave up full time career and I became a full time mom. Yeah, and I was a full-time mom for a good 10 over years.
Okay.
And then I had the amazing opportunity to work again because I was given flexible time, which meant I could actually care for my child and work at the same time. I have an interesting career now because I am the manager of a bowling alley at Strumban Prima here in Strumban.
All right,
Yes.
beautiful. So now that you have got a job, but I'm sure that during that time where you really wanted to quit your job, uh, I was told that you are a workaholic. That means you really like to work, and then come a phase whereby you need to let go. How was it, Pam? How was it? Can you tell us?
Uh, I think initially it was very, very hard. You are so used to having your career, going to work, and I would say for me it wasn't a choice. I knew I had to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So initially it was a struggle. I was envious of my friends who went to work and stuff. But eventually, I think, with the challenges that Aiden faced, I knew I had to be at home. So eventually, I became comfortable as a homemaker.
Okay,
But it
okay. That's
was a struggle.
definitely right. Definitely right. I still remember a couple of ladies who, the moment they give birth to the first child, they are willing to quit job simply because they want to be there 100% for the growth of the kid, and that's a big sacrifice. And I call it sacrifice here, Pam. Pam, I have got another question, but before that, and I have to read all this here. Susanna Sundraj says, Auntie Susanna says hello. Pauline says, hi, everyone. Deborah Priya says, she is one of my biggest inspirations. That's you, Pam. Doreen Pamela says, God bless you, Pammy. Maria Thomas says, hi, Pam. Diego Rios, I can't pronounce his last name. He says, hi, Pam, watching you from Melbourne. There you go. And,
Okay.
and this is Monica Mendes, he says. And Swinita says hello. Loida says to good move, a good move, Pam. Our prayers be with you and family. So yes, a lot of them are still giving you well wishing. Yeah. Uh,
Thank
uh,
you.
the question that I have is tonight's title is about me and my special son, Pam. So tell us about Aiden, your son, and your journey with him.
Okay, so Aiden was born via emergency C-section. That was because he had meconium, which is to the lay person, he had pass motion in my womb itself. They needed to get him out fast so that he wouldn't have infection, but unfortunately he did. So he was in a baby ICU for a week, and the doctors gave us 72 hours. They said, look, we can't tell you if your baby would survive. Yeah, so that was our first challenge with him. And at the same time, when I came out of my C-section, everything, and I was told that Aiden had Down syndrome. I had no clue what it meant, but I just knew that my child was not normal. That's all I knew from the word, because I didn't know anything about Down syndrome at that time.
Mhm.
Yep. So then, thankfully, he came out of that. He recovered. We took him home. He was fine. He was doing well. I had to watch everything with him. Nutrition was important. His diets were important. And then at the age of 2, he had a cold. We took him into hospital, and the doctors picked up that his counts were not the way it's supposed to be. His blood counts were not normal. And then they sent us to a private hospital to have him checked. And we discovered that he had leukemia, and he had just turned 2. So we discovered he had leukemia. We were told that he needed 6 months of treatment. So that was a whole journey by itself. Um, and then he was fine. But along the way, we've had many challenges. He has seizures from time to time. We have to deal with that. He has um, some, various medical issues that we've had to tend to. I think the most serious one would be the seizures, where he would actually drop to the floor, and he could hurt himself. So we've had to do a lot of things, in terms of keeping him safe. From where he is in the hall, we pad the floor. His bed is also padded, so we have had to do a lot of things. And he was doing fine. He went for he can swim. He's been for water therapy. So he was doing well. And then exactly 11 years later, due to a little fall that he had in the house, and we took him because his leg was a little swollen, we took him to the hospital. And lo and behold, we found that we thought it was a reoccurrence of his leukemia. But later we found out, and the doctors told us it's not a relapse. He's had a different leukemia. So it's very, very rare that a child has a different strain of leukemia, but Aiden's had it. We just marked 1 year of his treatment. He was initially given 53% chance of survival, but he's beaten all the odds from the day he was born. And we are 1 year into the treatment, and there's another year to go. So there you go.
Wow, my goodness, I don't know what to say, Pam. That's like so. So you're saying at the age of 2, he was diagnosed with leukemia, and then but before that, he was already having this Down syndrome, and you had to go through. I'm sure it was like hospital visits were like every other day, right?
Thankfully, no, because of we were diligent with his vitamins. We were diligent with his nutrition. So we managed to actually keep him away from the hospital as much as we could. He would get like the normal flu for you and me, it's just a simple flu, or for any child for that matter. But for
Okay.
him, because he's unable to clear the mucus and everything, there are times when he's congested, so we take him in for that. Nothing major,
Mm-hmm.
but we used to take him in for things like that.
Okay.
But nutrition helped. So yeah, few
So
hospital visits here and there.
so the period of time where he had seizures, right? How did
Yes.
that go? Were you all able to manage it, or still? How was that?
So with his seizures, initially I took him into the hospital, and what the hospital did was give us a drug called epilim, and epilim is a drug that dulls you. So we found that he was just sort of like very sleepy. To tell you what it was like, he was like sleepy all the time. So he
Okay.
didn't have quality of life. So what I did was I sought alternative treatment. Yeah. So we actually
Okay.
massage him with frankincense essential oil, and that did the trick. He we managed to keep him seizure free for quite a bit. Yes.
Okay, okay. I mean,
Yeah.
so I can see that you are smiling when I'm asking this question, because I'm sure you've passed through the whole big burden of it. But for me, it's a scary event every single time a child goes through this. You see. So yeah, I'm sure. But I want to know, how much support did you get from people around you, your family, your friends, and also when you go to this hospitals, right? How were the support from the doctors, nurses, and whatnot?
Um, Okay, so we'll start with the family.
Go ahead.
Allison and Abraham, my two older children, plus Jacob, and the maid. When we had the maid, we are all, able to handle his seizures. His seizures have come back with a vengeance, simply because he's on chemo now, and because he's on chemo, it has triggered his seizures again. But
Okay.
the family is able to react to it at any time that he gets it. Yeah. In
Okay.
terms of extended family, friends have been supportive. Extended family has been very supportive in terms of whatever emotional help. They can't help us directly because they're not here with us, but friends and family have been great in terms of emotional support.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And how
And
about support from the government agencies, NGOs, any of that sort? Were you able to get any of that support?
okay, so we've been to private hospitals and we've been to government hospitals with Aiden. Amazingly, I'm going to say to you, when you have a child with special needs, I'm not sure about the rest out there, their experience, but our personal experience has been, you go to the private hospitals. Unfortunately, um, you know there is no how would I say it? There is no special sort of not to say treatment, but you are part of the many. But what we've
Mm.
experienced in the government hospitals is they have ample parking bay because Aiden, he walks, but we take him in a wheelchair because of his the way he is. He can sometimes run aimlessly, so we don't want him to hurt himself outside. Plus the possibility of a seizure, so he's in a wheelchair. The government hospitals have got ample facilities for special needs.
I
Yeah.
see. I see. Okay. Okay.
The
So,
private hospitals, not so much.
gosh, I was thinking that it will be the other way around. You see.
No.
Okay, okay, all right. So I have got some comments. Suhaila Menon saying, "Amazing mom." Agilan Ayapan giving you all the thumbs up that he could.
Thank
Lee
you.
Jean says, "Amazing, Pamela." Humi says, "God bless you." Angie is saying, "Pam is being polite. Government hospitals are way better." Yeah. So there you go. There are so many of them are saying the same thing. I've got a question that came by. Uh,
Yes.
and I want to ask you as how it came. Yeah, how how do you keep yourself alive with all this that is happening? Nadia asked. Can you answer, Nadia?
Yes, I think as a mother of a special needs child, one of the important things I've learned is time for myself.
Mhm.
I don't have a maid now. I used to have one, but now she's gone back, and I still um, keep time for myself. Uh, a lot of things that I do for myself, and that helps me to actually be of a better mother and a better person at home. I go for aerobics classes. I go hiking. I have girl time where my girlfriends and I go on holiday. Angie's one of them. She's watching.
There
Angie
you
and I
go.
spend a lot of time together, just over dinner, chatting. It's a stress reliever. So sometimes we just get together, have dinner, chat about everything and anything that girls talk about,
Mhm.
and that helps a lot, especially when there's the stress of looking after a special needs child.
Exactly. And then some of them also say that you must have a me time. What have you got to
Yes,
say about that? Is
yes, I
that a
do
me
have
time
me
for
time.
you yourself? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
There are times when I think the greatest me time is when I go for my walks.
Okay.
Besides my Arabic and my hikes, I try and walk daily, and that is me time. So I get to put on my music, walk, and it's exercise as well as time out for myself. That
Mm.
helps.
Yeah, yeah. And also, amazingly, I remember you speaking about it before we started the show about how when you are in the ward, you still have got other patients with family also in the ward, little kids, and then you also buy them food, make them laugh, make sure that they are also in the no stress mode. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I think one of the things we learned early on, especially with Aiden's first leukemia, as well as this round, is if you focus on your issues, you focus on yourself and your problems and your child's illness, um, you would actually drown so to speak, because you're just so inward looking. It will consume you. One of the things that we've learned to do, in actual fact, is you are thankful and you don't feel sorry for yourself when you look around. So Aiden's undergoing treatment at the UMMC, University Malaya Medical Center,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a four-bedded ward. And I think that's the best thing that ever happened to us. I was always one who preferred a single room until I went to UMMC. So we are four to a room, and when we go in there, we support each other, and I found that's amazing that the parents look out for one another, care for one another, and so we have learned to look at those around us, and we have found that we can do little things to cheer the others up. So from my kids making monkey faces at the little ones opposite who are also undergoing leukemia, to sometimes I'll tell you a little story of this one man who had to look after his 1.5-year-old son who had cancer, and we didn't know that this man had no food the previous night. And my husband came in the morning with my coffee, and he felt he needed to just get this guy 2 pieces of roti canai. And later, this guy said to him, I couldn't go out because I was looking after my son alone. And I was so hungry. And these two roti canai that you brought me was just amazing. So
Ah,
yeah, you just learn to look out for each other and look out for people's needs. Yes, it
yeah,
helps
yeah.
you.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. You know what, Pam? Every time a story is told, right, in this show, there's always a moment of goosebumps, and that was it. You know how you actually help people, and I also remember what you said just now. Do not feel sorry for yourself, and I think that is very important. Yeah, never feel sorry for yourself, and you also spoke about how the doctors and the nurses in UMMC, they were like fantabulous, right? They were like the great
Yes.
that you have ever met. Yeah.
Yeah, so we came in from a private hospital because, his current leukemia, the treatment is 2 years, and we
Mhm.
realized we couldn't sustain. Now that's something I'll tell you about soon. We
Okay.
realized we couldn't sustain, the expenses of being in a private hospital. So
Mhm.
we managed to get into UMMC, and we found out because Aiden had an OKU card,
Okay.
his treatment was free. And coming in, I didn't know what to expect. So going in there, yes, I found a shout out to the doctors at the oncology ward, the nurses at the oncology ward. They are so patient, they're so caring, they're so loving. And amazingly, because I do a lot of alternative treatment with Aiden, these doctors were willing to dialogue with me. They were willing to talk to me. In fact, they were the ones who came and said, "Oh, what do you use this for? This is interesting. I've never heard about it." Simple thing as betel leaves for his ulcers. And they would check it out to see if it clashed with his treatment. They would come back to me and they say, "You're good to go." If it doesn't clash, you're good to use it. And they said they learned stuff from me too. So they have been amazingly helpful. Yes.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. I think that is so important. If you do not get any other support, right, Pam, I think the more important is when you get the support in the hospital itself, that really takes off a lot more larger burden than whatever that you could ever imagine.
It did.
And yeah, so I'm going to go for some serious questions, but before that, Pam, you have got plenty of viewers and loads of comments. I have to read, or else there's no justice to it. Bhavani says mothers are God sent angels. Yes, indeed, and it's so inspirational to hear you, Pam. Angie again says that you wait. What is she saying here? Angie says, and Jacob chases us to bed at night. I think you would understand what it means. Meho says, stay strong, Pam. And Subhashini says, aerobic classes is where we met. Pretty Nam says, amazing person you are, Pamela. And then you have got Dr. K. Jnanamurthy says, you and Jacob have been great with all you have sacrificed for Aiden. Keep the faith. Diego saying you are an amazing family, wonderful parents. Limbi Tim says you are strong and amazing. Pauline Haridara says you are an amazing mom. It takes a lot of strength, courage to support your son through and being beside him always. Be blessed. Agilan says, excellent show. Happy belated Mother's Day, Pam. So I'm reading all this simply because I want you to know that there are so many people out there whom you know and don't know, love you so much, and the family because of whatever that you all have gone through and still going through, Pam.
Thank you. Thank you so
Most
much.
welcome. So now, a bit of a serious question. I remember
Yes.
you speaking about how insurance companies do not cover a child with Down syndrome. Can you share a little bit on that, Pam?
It's not just a child with Down syndrome. It's
Then,
every child that is special needs, that is born with a predisposition. The insurance companies in Malaysia do not cover.
my
You cannot
goodness.
take out an insurance policy at all. Even if you want to pay a higher premium, you can't take out an insurance policy for a child who's born with anything.
So when did you find out, and then why do they do that? Do you know?
Um, okay, so for special needs children, okay, let me first tell you, Aiden's not just Downs; he's Downs with autism, right?
Oh,
So now
okay,
you have
okay.
Down syndrome, you have autism, you have many spectrums, and
Wow.
all, many of these children, I won't say all, but many of these children, statistics will show you, will have some sort of, medical issue. If it's not heart, it would be, they already warned us that heart, leukemia, hearing issues, sight issues, liver issues. These are things that we can expect to happen. So the doctors had already warned us. Now, the insurance companies, of course, know this. And I think they don't want, it's a business. Let's not forget that insurance is a business, and every business wants to make money, not lose money. And
Hmm.
therefore, I think they look at, this is my perspective, my opinion, where I think they look at it as, they would incur losses if they did this. So they have really not offered us insurance. Yeah.
Wow, wow. I mean, that must be yet another issue to worry about, right? And I think something that is it. I don't know whether you have checked this with other countries or other friends of yours in different countries. Is it the same everywhere?
I haven't checked it, but I do. I have spoken to friends in other countries. Um, the ones that I have spoken to, for example, you have Australia, where the government gives, the moment you're born with a child, sorry, when you have a child with special needs, from the time the child is born, the government comes in to aid you all the way. I give you an example. I have heard where they know the stress on the parents. They know the stress that you can have, when you have a child like this. So they even have carers to come in to give you that time to do your groceries, to go out and just do your own thing. They actually have people to come in, so you can pre-book a carer to come in, and they are experienced. They know, of course, you give them your child, what your child's about, and they come in and they relieve you. Here, for example, I actually have to depend on family if I choose to go out. So, places like Australia have that. In terms of medical treatment, uh, they are taken care of all the way. And the important thing to note is, like I said, the government hospitals actually take care of the children, but you don't have a choice here. In the other countries, it's not limited. You can choose your hospital of choice, and you're not limited. So that's the difference.
Yeah, I think something that yeah, if you are a provider out there, I think if you guys are listening, you may want to think about this. How, as a mom, they can always bring the child to the center, but at the same time, if you have got a pool of caregivers where when the mom wants to have the me time of hers or wants to do some other things with the rest of the children, then probably the caregivers, this pool of people, can be made available so that one call, an appointment fixed, and then they can come be in the house so that they can care for the child at your own space. Yeah, that would be more meaningful. Yeah, something to think about. Yeah. Something that you were saying. Yeah, you were saying that he was Downs and then he was autistic. I know some people just don't know how to address your child or a particular child for that matter with these special needs. Now, Down syndrome is being one, and then you call them special child. I just don't like to call a child special child. What makes the rest of the child or children, you see? But then these are the terms that is used loosely, and only when you use these words, people would understand. What are your thoughts around labeling a child. And you know what, Pam, this is something that is really, really, really mind blowing. Why? Because I remember I do a lot of counseling and trainings here. I remember going to some of the schools, and the teacher will be standing there and then she will say, okay, this is the classroom. This is where you need to. These are the children that you need to motivate. By the way, that child is ADHD. This child is autistic, and you have got the whole labeling going on. What do you think about this labeling, Pam? Scary for me. Tell me about yourself.
Okay,
How do you feel?
so children who are special needs understand. Aiden doesn't speak, but he understands everything, And if a child is in the class, even more so, the child understands, right? Um, these children have names, and you know. I think this comes with educating society, where you know somehow they have this thinking that because the child is special in a way, whether it's Downs or autism or ADHD, the child doesn't have feelings, the child doesn't understand. So if you look at Aiden, he doesn't speak, but he fully understands everything. We speak to him normally, right? So he people need to know that these children have an understanding. Okay, they can comprehend and they can understand, and they have feelings just like you and me. Having said that, um, there are times when you have. Remember when I said to you just now, when Aiden was born, I was told that he has Downs now. So I was one of those who had no clue what Down syndrome even meant until I had a child with Down syndrome. So I'm not throwing it out there as in people don't know. I was one of those people who didn't know either. So what we need is, I think Anne's also watching, and Anne propagates inclusiveness, and that's something that's very important. I think one of the important things I would say to, whoever has a child with special needs, please take your child out. A lot of parents are worried about taking their child out because some of the children have different behavior. For example, Aiden, when he's excited, he can actually make loud noises, and it makes people uncomfortable because they don't know what's going on. So parents with special needs children, you need to be thick-skinned. Okay, that's one. Take your child out and really have a don't care attitude. People can look, people can stare, but that's all they can do. They can't tell you to leave. They can't tell you to get out. But along the way, you will find ones who come out to you. Okay, so here are the different types of people. The ones who would look, the ones who will come up and say, I'm sorry, but can I ask you what's wrong with your child? Total strangers who would ask this question. And we are more than happy to say what his condition is, and what he's like and everything. And they would actually say hello to him and everything. But once in a way, you would get the ones who seem to think you are intruding into their meal space because this child's being loud, and it makes them uncomfortable. Then you become thick-skinned.
Yeah,
And just
exactly,
ignore.
exactly. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So you said it right. Anne Subhashini, she does this wonderful work in also creating awareness, yeah, on autism and the whole
Yes.
spectrum. And I think that's important. Inclusiveness, being aware of what is happening around us is so important. A lot of people do not know that, and they don't want to even know. Therefore, they are always on the other side of the fence. And I think like how a lot of other countries do also, whenever you have got a special child with a special need, now that you are saying that a child with a special need, probably you can have a heart shape carried everywhere. Whenever you're in a restaurant, everybody sees this red heart shaped picture there or a figure there, then they will know that this kid is definitely special. Then they won't bother so much. But
Yeah,
it's
but that's
important.
that's also labeling, right? Because at the end of the
Exactly,
day, you
right?
should be able to take your child out. He's still a child. He's still, and I think it comes from the parents who have children with special needs. A lot
Mm,
of times, even for myself, for example, um, I would think before I take him to certain places initially,
mm,
for fear of, you know, whether it would be conducive for him, whether
okay.
it would be conducive for others. Along the way, I just said, we'll take him. We'll take him wherever we go.
Okay. Okay.
But of course, for example, I take him to church. I take him to church, and because I take him to church every week, um, he's comfortable with everyone in church, and everybody in church is comfortable with him. And he
There you
can
go.
actually, I can take my eyes off him in church because I know someone will look out for him. They're all
There you
used to him. So it's a matter of us as parents with special needs kids also doing our part to take them out. I think the more
So,
these kids are exposed, the more people would get comfortable with them.
so with this message, I think it is more clear that if you have got a child with a special need, I think the more you have to bring them out on a frequent basis so that everybody knows that you all are in existence. Or else, if you keep your child at home, nobody knows that they are there. Therefore, both of you all will be like in a stressful manner. Yeah, very
Correct.
nicely said, Pam. Very nicely said. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have got a special need child, bring him or her out, let him see the world. There's a lot of beautiful stuff out there that they may be excited about. So a couple of messages here. Jay Kannan says hi. Angie is speaking about the insurance, how they are profit makers. They do a lot of huge profits, and she speaks about the premiums also being high. Yeah. Maureen says to treat them as how other children are treated, to speak to them as how we speak to others as well. Something
That's
very nice Maureen said. Narendra said, your inspirational seed has taught me that there is nothing impossible that we can't endure or conquer. Thanks. Be cheerful. Your smile is always important. Hard work. You are living proof. Keep it up. Lim Vitim says you are really awesome sharing. Sushila Sundram says wonderful mom. Suhaila Menon says you are doing the right thing. More people are getting educated. Those who are not supportive, ignore their ignorance. Very well said, Sohela. Ignore their ignorance. Yeah. So with that, right? I ask this to all women out there, and to those who come to my show. I am going to ask you the same thing: discrimination. And you, as a woman, your thoughts, please, Pamela.
discrimination of women.
Discrimination as a woman. Yes, exactly.
So you are talking about discrimination in the workplace or discrimination in general?
As a whole, at workplace, everywhere you go, as a woman, right now, the reason why I'm asking this question is this show is about empowering women, and I have got variants in terms of answers. Yeah, different varieties. Some of them say that they have gone through discrimination to the utmost, where they don't feel good doing what they are doing, but they are doing it anyways. Why? Because they want to showcase that equality is at place. Some ladies who I speak to, they say that, you know what, discrimination, no, I've never had any of that sort in my life, because for them it's about their mindset. How do you see discrimination? And they have got different other examples to tell. What's your take on the word discrimination, and have you ever had that coming by at work or in your other parts of life?
Okay, so interestingly, I've had two times or two jobs where you know I was a woman in a man's world. I still am. So, for example, early on, I worked in the freight forwarding industry, and I was given this account that was dealing with steel from the time it comes into the port right up to the time it is sent to the client's premise. And the steel industry is a man's industry. And I still remember clearly when I went for my induction. So you want to talk about discrimination? Here's it. The person doing the induction said, "Good morning, gentlemen." Oh, wait a minute. We have a lady here today. So you can consider it discrimination, or you can consider it a privilege. It's all about how you look at it. So I said, I'm going to consider it a privilege that I'm the rose among the thorns. I've had my fair share of, having to tango with the lorry drivers, things like that. And I think it's all about perspective of how you choose to look at it. If you choose to look at it as discrimination and back off, then you've lost. But if you choose to look at it as in, okay, so this is an issue, like all work issues, how do I overcome it? And you find ways around it. Now, having said, this was earlier, currently I am the only lady manager in, I work for Ampang Super Bowl, and we have 10 bowling alleys in the country. And I happen to be the only lady manager. So, yeah, you have your issues, but it's, again, how do you work around it? I've been taught by my boss, there was a time when I first started working, and I said, "Oh, these guys are, not including me." And he said, "Why are they not? Why don't you just ask?" And I did, and I got invited to the meetings. So sometimes you perceive it to be you being excluded, but in actual fact, that it's not. You just need to. Again, I think my theme for today is just be thick-skinned and invite yourself in. So for me, it's been about challenging my own perspective, my own way of looking at it, and overcoming it. So discrimination, I think, sometimes take a step back, look at it in perspective, and sometimes it's not just discrimination, it's just work issues.
I think that's a very loud and clear message, and that's the message that all women out there should adhere to. I would say, if in need, just ask. There are many of times I think there are situations where you think that you, as a person, being discriminated, but in actual fact, probably it is a different story altogether. Until and unless you ask, open and ask, then you wouldn't know what the real actual story is. And talking about discrimination, even men to another man, you still have got discrimination happening, but only if
That's
you
right.
look at it as a discrimination. If you think that this is something else, then it's a different perspective altogether. And I like what you said, be thick skin, be thick skin. If you want to have something, ask. And you shall be given. Pam,
Yes.
with all this that's happening, right? Who is your hero?
I don't have a hero. I don't.
Okay, so are you saying that you are your own hero?
I wouldn't say I'm my own hero. Um,
Okay,
you know, I'm a Christian by faith, and
okay,
my faith is Christianity. And I think I don't have a hero, but if I needed to name one, I think my purpose in life now is um, to emulate my maker. And um, you know, I think, having said that, right, just one more thing that just crossed my mind. I think one of the things that actually, how would I say, it, sets us free to do lots of stuff is with Aiden, life and death is in God's hands. So once you settle the fact that life and death is in God's hands, you are there to then do whatever you can as a parent. Uh, so you find we don't fret. We don't fret the unnecessary. We do what we can and we move on. So, in perspective of a hero, I would say I would like to live life. One of the reasons I'm doing this show is also, my hope is that somebody would be encouraged, to take the next step. If you think I have challenges, there are many parents out there who have greater challenges. So my thing is to be of help. If anyone out there who needs support, who needs a word of encouragement, you can reach me on Facebook, drop a note, because there are many people going through, issues with children with special needs, and they don't know who to reach out to. So please do reach out to me. And yeah, so my life perspective is to help, to touch as many lives as possible by doing what I can.
Yeah, exactly. Well said. And I'm looking at the my handphone when I send that message. Yeah, in my Facebook. What do you know about life? I think you said it well. Yeah, when I asked that question, and you are definitely my one of my hero, Pam. I remember again. Yeah. You shared this when we spoke much earlier about the time when someone came to you and said her life was miserable, and then you told her something very interesting. You know that you have got sickly parents and all that. Do you want to share that story? That is so amazing.
That's my friend Angie. She was saying about how one of her staff came and said that she's got stress at home because she's caring for an ailing parent. And she said to the person, "Sit down. I'll tell you something. This friend of mine, she has a special needs child. My parents' mom has health issues. Dad has health issues." And then I have to deal with Aiden, who's got leukemia, and we can't have maids. We had a maid who used to help us a great deal, but she was missing home. She went home. Now I do it all by myself. So she actually related this story to her staff. I think I think that person probably was dumbstruck as to
I know, right? I know, right? That's amazing. How? Go ahead.
no. But if you so here's someone who said she's got stress, and then you hear my story. But I'm sure just as I'm relating to you my issues, there are always people out there who are in a worse off situation who are still able to smile at tomorrow. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And for the viewers out there, if you think that your life is miserable, think again. Think about Pamela Jacob. Yeah.
My
And
life is not miserable.
no, no, no. What I'm saying is, and I wanted to put that note. Yeah. Take this with great enlightening message. Yeah. Whereby, if you think that your life is miserable, think again. There are so many people out there who is going through life in a much difficult manner, but they are still able to live their life to the fullest. So think again. How do you think your life should be, and live by it? That's all. That's all. And I want to just remind you. You spoke about something on could not sustain being in a private hospital. Do you want to share anything there?
Yeah, so I was telling you about the insurance policies.
Okay.
Now, my husband's company does give us, cover insurance. So let me just say, as much as insurance companies don't cover, when it comes to covering the family and there's no personal underwriting, the companies, we have declared to them that Aiden is special needs and they've given us insurance policies. But we've had to fight the insurance companies because the moment they find the word Down syndrome, the first thing they do is decline, even though they've given you an insurance card.
Mm.
This is what happened with Aiden the first time. We took it to the press, the media. The moment we took it to the newspapers and the article did come out, the insurance company at that time said, "Oh, we've made a mistake. We are covering him." This time around, same fight. 11 years later, same fight. Um, and they have a cap on how much there is that you can actually draw per year. So even though you have a card, and if they do decide to actually acknowledge, which they initially said no, you have a cap. Now, the treatment for leukemia, we were looking at a ballpark of easily, I think the estimated figure at that time was 160 to 170,000 for the 2 years.
Okay.
So um, you either have to be, self-sustaining to a certain extent. Um, Otherwise, you can't pull through. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right. So for the people out there, remember you have to fight for it, because it's not easy journey. But it's able. Yeah, you are able to do so if you want to. So just thick skin. Remember, thick skin. Well, Pam, thank you so much for sharing. You've touched my heart big time, and I'm glad that you're on my show. Do you want to take this opportunity to tell something encouraging to the ladies out there, also to those
Yes.
celebrating Raya tomorrow?
Yes. Well, firstly, I would like to say to all the ladies out there, I think one of the things that's very, very important is this: whether you're a housewife or you're working, uh, I think one of the important things is for you to be independent. So what I've always had, whether I was a housewife or not, was always having uh, my own little budget to spend, my own little stash of money kept aside for a holiday. I always kept something aside for myself and for my regular spending, because I think you need to have your own finances as a woman. To be able to we are women. We like to pamper ourselves, do our hair, do our nails. Once in a way, treat yourself. It's important that we do that. It's not. Some people look at it and say, "Oh, you're very vain in doing that." It's got nothing to do with vanity. It's got everything to do with just taking time out for yourself. Because when you do your nails, nobody speaks to you, so you get me time. When you do
Yeah.
your hair, it's just a chatter with the hairdresser. You get me time. So these are the little things that you need to do. So you always need to have your little stash. And I think have girl time. Girl time is very important, where I do this, and I think I would actually tell women out there, if you can go on a holiday with your girlfriends, just your close friends. If you can't, do little dinner dates with your girlfriends and talk about everything and anything. I think that's important. Uh, in terms of Hari Raya, to my lovely Malay friends out there, I have many good friends, as well as the ones whom I don't know who are listening in. I wish you Selamat Hari Raya, stay safe, and enjoy family time. Every time life throws you a curveball, take a step back, look at the good that comes out of everything. I tell you one thing that I've learned: what seems to be a good thing might not be a good thing. What seems to be a bad thing might not be a bad thing. So take a step back and look at the good that comes out of every situation, and you will enjoy your Hari Raya.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well said. I have got Agilan, which says, "Hi Pamela, you are being very humble and simple. Actually, you are a hero." And then this one is very important. I shall end with this. Jacob Samuel. I wonder who that man is, and he has got a smiley face with heart. So you spoke about a lot of me time, a lot of girl time. I would say a lot of hubby time also. Make sure that you go out with your husband on a different date altogether, just to make sure that you live a fulfilled life. Once again, Pam, thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
So that ends our show for tonight. Yeah, but remember this. She says that definitely her life is not miserable and she's living her life. What about you? Think again. Change your language pattern. It is so very important. And remember, what you have is enough. What you have is enough. Asking for more, wanting more than what you need, I think it is not going to help you anywhere. So remember that what you have is enough. Also, you can only use what you already have. Do not hurt others. Allow yourself to be happy all the time. It is like I remember someone said this. If you take the poison and you expect others to feel the pain, and we're still expecting them to die, it's not going to happen. So only you can allow someone to hurt you. Until then, nothing is possible. So remember, be aware of what you want to do. Say good things. Be a good person. Do good things. Live a life. So remember, think it through. Have fun. I would like to wish everyone out there Eid Mubarak, Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, and thank you Kamal Bukhari. Kamal Bukhari, he wrote a song, very nice, and he said, if you can play this song in your show, and I am going to play this song shortly. Please remember, be safe out there. I know it's MCO now. You can still enjoy yourself at home. So this song is for all of you. Pam, once again, thank you. We shall meet again same time next Wednesday. Bye bye.
Desaku yang indah dan permai masih lagi tersedia. Angin pantai yang bertiup memanggil namaku. Anak-anak kecil berlari riang menyambut aku.